Saturday morning. About to get up in the lift. About to do some tuck pointing and stuff. Yeah. But I was listening to this thing on the way here. We were talking about like Joe Rogan and Jesus and shit. And I was like, bro, this is some basic. Like it's basic. Like, no, Jesus didn't really exist. Just like Zeus didn't really exist. And Ares and, you know, Odin and all that shit. Like, no, they didn't really exist. But they're archetypes. Like the original, all them old ones were like archetypes of gods and stuff. They're archetypes of the human psyche, and the different things. If you're filled with lust, that was Aphrodite. If you're filled with like rage and stuff, that was Ares. You were under the possession of Ares and stuff. Like that's a good way to try. It's like psychology. Like it's a good way to try to explain the feelings, because sometimes the feelings come over and it's like holy crap, like it just takes over your whole psyche. Yeah, but in Christianity, there's the idea like sin and stuff, and it's to miss the mark. Okay, that's what it came from. It's an archery term, to miss the target and to miss the mark. So, what the hell does that mean? That's like, well, if you shoot, you miss. Well, and then you're like, okay, what? If you shoot, you're born, and you don't do what you're supposed to do, like to optimize, to do everything you need to do for the righteousness and following the path of being the best you can be and always having high moral standard and everything. Yeah, you're missing the mark. And it's up to you to figure out what you want to do on this earth. And so you have these passions you're born with, or you find throughout, just discover. You gotta have the courage to go after it. So I love bodybuilding and stuff. I love that whole process, strength training, all that shit. Like that's a beautiful thing to me. And not everybody would follow that. A lot of people like painting and singing and whatever. It doesn't matter. But no matter what, they got to find themselves in that. And if you're not doing what you can to optimize everything, like you're missing the mark. So with Jesus, it's like he's like, okay, the story goes that he was a man who never missed the mark. He always did what God's will was. God is like, it's beyond like the creation and stuff. The New Testament describes God as like a moral standing point, like a thing we can all go to. When you worship God, it's like you dedicate your life to becoming the best at whatever in your life, to become the most optimized, like to become the pinnacle of what you could be, like the best you possible, like whatever that is. And that's literally worshiping God. So you got this dude who never fucking missed the mark. He always did that 100% of the time. So the story goes that. And then, and even in the face of all that, everything else, guess what? He gets betrayed, and he gets like the worst possible outcome. So he does everything right, still gets the worst possible outcome. And that's a beautiful story, because it's like, man, you're probably gonna have better odds. Like no matter what you do, like you're probably gonna have better odds than that. Like, but even if you don't, the whole idea is you still have to do it, and you still have to do the right thing in the face of all the odds. In the face of no matter how your life turns out, if you do the right thing, it's for the greater good. It's for God's will or whatever. So Jesus does everything right. He gets the worst possible outcome. He gets betrayed by one of his best friends for 12 pieces of silver, and then the people he's trying to save and wake up, and he's like destroying the tax thing. He's like, why are we doing this? Why are you trying to make money in God's name? Well, you just went against the whole system for the greater good. So then the people he's trying to wake up and save and stuff, those are the same people who literally crucify him. And crucifixion was designed to be like one of the most agonizing ways to die. Torture. It was designed. So the whole idea is that he got the worst possible outcome, and then he was mocked by the people he's trying to save, and then he got a spear in his side, and all this stuff. So the whole idea is that, and then that's something that we can all really dig. Like every single person can, because everybody can be like, wow, like I want to be more like that. Even in the face of me getting the short end of the stick all the fucking time, like by the universe or whatever, doesn't matter. I'm gonna do the right thing. and we all can vibe that. That's why it touches deep in the subconscious of like so many people. That's why Christianity has had like such a hold, is because everybody knows that. Everybody knows it. Your subconscious picks it up. It's just a lot. It's like you have to just dig and figure out what it means, and then your logical mind, a little frontal lobe of the brain, can piece it together and be like, oh, now I get it. So yeah, that's it. And that's why like the whole, they're trying to destroy that, because they just want you to fucking, they don't want you to see that. They don't want you to see that. They don't want you to live up your potential. They just want you fucking, want you to just be another cog in the machine. That way you're just a slave. And and it's like, man, you just gotta wake up to the facts. Drink a cup of Joe with some cinnamon in it, and just go, man. And even in the face of all odds, doesn't matter. Stop playing the pity party. It doesn't matter. When you die, it won't fucking matter. So just do it and just become the best you can be, because that's your calling. Like, you're doing a disservice to yourself, your family, the whole world, if you don't try to become everything you can be. So take that as you will.